Greeting travelers, and welcome back for yet another story. Previously, our heroes had ventured through the Black Marsh, making it to a small township protected by Canary Goldtooth, a golden dragonborn dedicated to taking down the heads of Tiamat. Now the four heroes will stay the night while trying to keep Aboze's affiliation hidden. Please join us once again for the tale of Sulfur and Saloons.
Canary sees you guys coming in, and he's like, well, howdy, y'all. You must be, well, you're the gnome, and you're the confused little fella, aren't you? So, welcome to the town of Hope. I hear you're looking for Adasira to head out west.
That we are.
Right? Well, I think she's at her cabin, about a couple miles out that away. But it's, and he kind of looks up, and you can see the sun starting to set a little bit.
I think it's best to wait until morning.
I do believe.
Could hit the hay.
I do believe.
I would not mind
I'll go make some
resting.
coffee.
Good idea. The marsh does get a little freaky at
Making
night.
coffee to go to bed?
The party enters the town proper, making themselves comfortable. Abose keeps a low profile. Gigan takes a keen interest in Betsy the Wyvern, while Corvus and Gunnerv begin the rest for the day ahead.
I will look at my new book of fire, and I will be like, all right, what can keep me safe in my sleep?
Sounds good.
Anything in there that would help me?
Nothing quiet.
I
Or
don't
subtle.
I don't care about subtle and quiet as long as it helps me.
Roll me just an Arcana check to see if you can kind of figure out what these do.
That's a plus zero.
Evan, are you doing anything while you're on the Wyvern, or are you just enjoying your little sky trip?
Poison
I'm
the
like,
dragon.
what's the movie where you have the dragon and they're just flying?
How to Train
I
Your Dragon?
can't. No, it's like an '80s movie.
The never-ending story?
Yes.
I was just thinking of you like trying to get like
You
trying to
run
get
your
Canary to hold
Titanic?
you and like Titanic.
That's
The never-ending story.
But you're just behind him.
It's like, hold me. He's like, I'm flying.
Nah, Betsy gets a little fickle when I let go of the reins, and also I kind of like sticks one hand behind him and like puts it
I scoot
awkwardly
closer.
back.
I scoot closer and I wrap my hands around his waist.
He just kind of puts his hand down and like tries to pry your hands off.
I hold tighter.
He's got the
Please.
gable grip.
Now, can you just let go? Now, this is a little.
Throw him off.
I don't really know you, and you. The pelts and the whole musk thing is really.
I lean in close.
You think riding
It's
on a
okay,
wyvern?
Canary.
It's not.
We've got to be close to be safe.
You know, you'd think riding on an open back wyvern would let the air flow past you, but somehow it pervades.
This is Gigan's ploy to marry him and then take Betsy in the divorce.
And they say bards are the ones seducing everyone.
This is not
Digging the gold
seduction.
digger. He just kind of like gives up on wrenching your hands free and like awkwardly like just scooches forward and just like goes back to looking around with his glasses. After a while, around like what you would assume is like 1 or 2 in the morning, he starts heading back towards town.
All right. Can I see if I can spot where we're sleeping at right now?
Like where they are.
Yeah.
You see a gnome
They're
bed.
just kind of in like the town center area.
All right. I'm gonna jump off and then turn it into. What tiny animals do I have? I'm just gonna turn into a badger and skydive down.
Dream on.
Okay, I don't think.
If I'm small enough to not reach terminal velocity, I'll live.
I don't
Pick a
think
squirrel.
badgers are fall resistant.
Pick a squirrel.
Squirrels are. Squirrels can survive a fall
True.
from terminal velocity.
Yeah, I'll do a squirrel then. Anything that'll survive terminal velocity.
Wait,
What
so
is
how
this?
high up are you jumping from?
What is
Where are
this?
the wyverns at the moment?
He's starting to set down, so he's a good couple hundred feet in the air.
What does this
Yeah.
horrible-looking squirrel look like?
So you just kind of like.
It's a meatball.
Canary's just like looking around, and he feels your hands like come off of him, and he's like, huh? And he just hears as your body condenses down into like this hairless rat. And he's like, huh? And then you just go off the edge
I stand up and I go.
and fall off. As you're like falling off, you like fold in on yourself into like this like slightly hairless rat with like chunks of hair and like a long like scraggly looking tail, and disappears in the night. You guys, those of you who are
flaps under your arms.
those of you who are awake here, and like a double bounce and then a skitter. Are you
Then I'm
falling back?
I think I'm just gonna go to sleep where I hit. I'm pretty tired at this point. It's like 2 in the morning.
The second bounce is you sideways skidding on the ground, and you're like, this is fine.
There's something insane going through Canary's mind right now.
Canary's like,
I hope you land like near the bed.
you
landed
almost
Gunner's
hit.
lap.
You almost landed on Gunner's. You were aiming for it. You landed a good 20 feet to the right.
Do I notice this thump in the night?
You hear it.
Oh God, I'm gonna look at my spell book to protect me.
I think
see
I'm
this Arcana
definitely
check.
giving up on.
Oh yeah, that's a 2.
A 2.
It was really close to a nat 20.
You've got no idea what. You've got all these spells seem really cool, but like protectiveness.
Dang it.
Anything in here could be your best guess.
Okay, I will open up to page 3. That seems like an easy part. 14 Arcana check. Does anything happen?
Are you trying to like copy something?
I'm just trying to use the book to make something happen.
So you just kind of flip to page 3 and you start like glancing through, and it's in Draconic, so you're starting to pick up
Yay.
some of it. You start scrolling through page 3, and
Ooh.
you get to something called a fire mine.
I like this.
And as you read further, it seems to be this like spell of some sort.
I put my readers on.
It's a bit of it's smudged and a bit of it's been lost to time
Okay.
here and there. So most of the details of the spell are obscured, but you see something 2d6. That's a joke, but most of it's obscured and lost, and only the just like unhelpful words are left unobscured by time.
Yes. Do. I would like to know how to do. Okay.
Do you want to try and cast this?
I will try.
Okay. So you kind of see some of these like pictures on
Oh, I
on
like
this
the
page,
picture parts.
and you start just kind of copying what's going on in these pictures, and you feel just kind of this like warm coursing through your body, and eventually this small disc like appears out of the ground. And it's this kind of like ember, almost looks like campfire embers,
Whoa.
just kind of sitting on the ground about 5 feet in front of you.
So at the head of the bed.
At the head of the bed, there's this small disc.
Is it under the bed or just?
No, it's out on the ground.
It's on
Okay.
the ground ahead of me.
And then after it's like you summon it and it glows embery for a little bit, and then after about 30 seconds, it goes like dark.
Oh.
I'm still within vicinity
Becomes-
of where they're sleeping. I probably witnessed all of this.
Oh yeah, you just saw a Bosier. And you see
You see like my tail and arms writhing around from under the bed, and then you watch as this red like plate appears 5 feet in front of the bed.
While this is happening, I'm gonna send the weasel to walk on it and poke it and slap it.
So the weasel, you say. You send the weasel out.
Yeah.
So the weasel goes, and it steps on top, and then like does this like little pounce on top, and you hear this slight click, and then there is a very, there's a, and the weasel goes.
Well, it's a great thing this weasel was through.
I need you to make a dex save.
At disadvantage, I
There's
presume.
Disadvantage because you're asleep.
I can resummon that weasel.
Why
Does
did we not
Corvus
move
know
Al
that
before
yet?
testing?
Because like, nah, Gunner's fine.
Gunner's got 90 hit points.
The weasel evaporates.
I know.
It's just gone.
Corvus is gonna scream because he doesn't understand how found familiar works.
With madness breaking out from the explosion, tensions rise as Canary searches the town for a Bose, his scorched allies close behind as well.
Canary sets down and is like in
pick
this
you up
panic,
and
like
push
half
you
awake
up.
state.
Oh,
He's
are
got
you
like
okay?
his belt
I'm fine.
slung around his waist, very sloppy. He's
Glad
like,
it didn't hurt you.
now what on earth is going on here?
My
That-
bed is broken.
Is a great question.
You're a good bit away. He's set down where Al is. He
Oh, okay.
is. You're a good like couple hundred feet down.
I'm probably sprinting that direction.
Sounds good.
So I'll get there momentarily.
Hopefully you don't land on a mine.
Now, what happened here? Why is there a crater in the middle of my town, and what just went on?
I don't know why there's a crater. But my pot of coffee's gone.
All right, you look like you're dealing with something else. Now, where'd
My
your little
bed is
buddies run
gone.
off to?
And the only person beneath my bed was a bose.
Well, to be fair, you look at where your bed was, and the crater is like 20 feet, 5 feet.
Well,
From
now
where
it's 20 feet from where the bed is. Originally, the bed was about 5 feet away.
To be fair, it didn't come from under the bed. It came from outside the bed.
Corvus is gonna like slide into the clearing frantically.
You look like you know what's going on.
I'm
Where
gonna
is he?
kill that little.
Hide with
Do
me.
you happen to
I've already slinked in the shadows.
know where Mr.
he's
Bose
good.
was, considering he just blew up
I would
part of
like
my
to hide.
town?
Mr. DM, I've been found, so I would like to attempt to hide again. And Gigan said he would guide me.
I guide him, and then I see that
Italian, switching sides.
Corvus who's lightly on fire.
And then I see, what's his face walking over there. It's like, that means the dragon's back at the camp.
It does.
And I run past them.
You're just running past him. You're not even helping him, or you just
No, he
both
gave
just
me
do the line?
guidance,
I
and
go,
then I'm gonna
"Guidance."
hide.
And then he got sidetracked by the wyvern.
He knows the dragon's unguarded.
Okay. All right, you stealth check.
Yeah.
You perception check with advantage again, because now you've got Canary and Gnurf with you.
What does that number say?
I like put a retinal on
That's
my
a pretty
like.
good number.
It's a natural 20, so a 26 on strength.
Well, he beat me.
With a nat 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said,
Baby.
Can I check?
Well, now, I want you to understand, from my perspective, you came into my town about 8 hours ago. I don't know any of y'all. You just blew up part of my town.
And I deeply apologize.
And-
I thought he had more intelligence than this.
Well,
Extremely rude and putting all of us in a lot of danger.
he kind of whips out this like sleek-looking Smith & Wesson revolver, spins around, and goes, "Never can trust a kobold," and cocks it, and walks off.
I would like to kind of stand behind one of the mines
All right.
and like bait an attack into the mine.
So you're just gonna stand there until someone finds you?
I'm gonna stand there, hands on my hips, waiting.
All right.
No longer trusting the party, Canary forces the 4 allies out of the town, with them having to flee whilst an angry wyvern is hot on their trails.
I will stand my
I'm
ground.
gonna summon my cannon. I'm gonna get on top of said cannon. And I'm just telling it to book it.
How fast does your cannon move?
If it's using its action to run, 40 feet. I'm going to make an estimated guess and say, head west. So for an hour, I'm heading west.
All right.
I rip my pants off like trousers, and these massive alligator legs appear. And I say, until we meet again.
You're just out of there.
Yeah. It's gonna be 90 feet. I move if I dash.
Dang, we got 45 movement speed as a barbarian.
Yup. I also took squat nimbleness. That gives me another 5. So that's why it's 45. So I'm gonna say, you said west, right? I take out my north compass. I see where north is. East, west, that way.
I'm gonna cast Blur on myself.
Good call.
I think that's an action, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to do Healing Word. So on my way past, I'm gonna say, "Get the fuck up!" and heal Corvus, and I'm just gonna use the rest of my movement to go.
How much are you healing me for?
First level. So
That's a D4
D4
plus your
plus-
spell cast.
Yep. And then you're booking it, I'm assuming, in the same direction that Abose went?
yeah,
You do see this
yeah, D4
shape
plus
shoot
4.
out from the cloud.
I'm at what I said, Canary. 300 gold.
I'll be
back in
back
the tank.
for you.
Okay.
How much did you?
Book it.
D4
All right.
plus
Book it
4.
westward.
Oh, I roll it?
All right.
I can roll it. I was
Shelby.
6.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
The wyvern is hunched over Canary's smoldering form as he did just eat a landmine.
I'm
With
getting
your
up.
back to
Dash
you.
action, 60 feet west.
All right.
Managing to barely escape the gold arm of the law, the 4 allies must trek through the Black Marsh unaided, hoping to finally find their guide at Desira, who may be the key to finally making it to their final destination. That is all for this chapter of Sulfur and Saloons.